How
John,
are you?
how are you doing? You're doing good. Doing good.
Good.
Congrats on season 2.
Thank you.
Season 1 was such a great season. I love your character. What was it about developing him? Because I mean, he really shows a lot of growth throughout season 1.
Yeah, I like to think of myself like that, Michael, a guy who shows a lot of growth. Um, yeah, I didn't know what I was going to do with this guy. To be honest with you, like the sports, I talked about it a lot, but I knew nothing about sports, and that angle really scared me. I got the call that David, you're going to get an offer on this new David Kelly show. I'm like, oh, great, I love David Kelly. I always wanted to work. I play a lawyer, or Big Little Lies, part 3. This is basketball. I'm like, oh no, but I think, and that was the scariest part for me. But it just kind of started. I mean, I did a lot of work on it. I talked to a lot of coaches, talked to a lot of basketball people. And then I read a lot of books, John Wooden and Bobby Knight was an interesting character, but it just came out. And it was the first day. And I remember I was shooting the end of Fuller House, and it was a big emotional wedding. The girls were getting married. Someone's getting married, Jody. And, marriage. And then I literally halfway through the day, I drove over to downtown LA to the opening scene of the first episode of last season, where I had to scream and yell at these high college players and throw the chair and scream. And it just came out. I don't know, but I feel, I think I'm tapping into my father a little bit sometimes. He was a lovely, beautiful man, but could be gruff, like Coach. And he was, the first one to say he made a mistake or I'm sorry. So that too, I get from him.
Yeah. And season 2, there's a new dynamic, a new change. We got the schools become co-ed.
Right.
Now, as the coach, you're dealing with not only guys sports, but also your team as well. What were some of the things that you were you teaching yourself in order to pull into the role for this season?
Well, I just kind of organically fit back in. I mean, I think it was very smart, first of all, to bring the boys in. It becomes a co-ed school first episode, and that opens all kinds of issues and boys and girls. It highlights the inequality of women's sports and men's sports, which I think was very important to show. Holly and I get into Sam and Diane kind of about chauvinistic men, and she accused me of mansplaining, and I'm like, I'm not mansplaining. I'm just trying to tell you that it's difficult being a woman in sports these days. He's that guy, but he's certainly willing to say I screwed up. I love that he's being a better father. Obviously I try to do that. I'm a father now. I like his themes of just looking at the mirror at the end of the day and going, like, I did my best today. Was I good to people? Was I kind? Was I loving? And, that seems sort of obvious, and being in the moment, is an overused term, but it's real. That's his thing. And that it is real. Like being here right with you, being a father to my kid, I've really learned, like, okay, put the phones away. That's not that important. Like, be there with him right now. And that's been, I try to do that with the character as well, but I've learned a lot from Marvyn, and I bring it home to my household.
Awesome. And you're such a big Disney fan.
Really?
And just a little bit from what I've read about over the years. What has it been like to be a part of the Disney family with the show, and to be able to, does it help with getting more collectibles from the park?
No, I tried that. I said, okay, I don't want to raise this year. Give me a doom buggy. That makes sense. It is magical. I mean, I wish I could go back to the 12-year-old me standing in line at the Matterhorn, with my dad's members only jacket and, his Aramis cologne and smattering of pimples, and say, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. One day, you're gonna meet a girl. You're gonna have the Disneyland sign in your backyard. You're gonna be on, Disney Plus. I was so happy to be a part of Disney Plus early on, sort of in the beginning of it, and while they were trying to figure out what they're doing. I watch everything. I watch every cut. I watch every daily, and I go, okay, that's good. And then they sprinkle some kind of magical Disney dust all over it. And when I see it on TV, I go, oh my God, look at that. I'm on a Disney. It's just something, I can't put my finger on it, because if I could, I'd do it in all the shows. Yeah. But I'm very proud to be on it. And the world is, how the world is. I don't need to over explain that. It's a turbulent time, and you don't know who to turn to, what to trust, what's real, what's truth, what's not. But you can look at a show like this and go, okay, I'm gonna have a good half hour. I can watch it with my kids. If there's good morals, there's good values in it. And hopefully it's comfort food, like some of the other shows I've done. When they look at me and they go, okay, he's been coming in my home for 40 years. I trust him. Let's go on this ride with him.
Awesome. John, thank you so much. And I can't wait to hopefully see you at the Pasadena Playhouse again.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Let's see you.